For centuries, ships went the long way around the bottom of the world, through the icy storms of Cape Horn, to move between the Atlantic and Pacific. The trip could add 8,000 miles in many months. From the moment Europeans reached the Americas, one question stuck with explorers and empires: could we make a shortcut through the narrow middle of the New World? The Spanish dreamed of it in the 1500s. In the 1800s, Americans felt the need during the gold rush. But the first big attempt came from a French giant, the builder of the Suez Canal, Ferdinand de Lesseps. After Suez, de Lesseps thought Panama would be the same, a simple sea-level canal. But Panama wasn't Egypt. There was no dry desert, only thick, living jungle. Trees crowded the work, roots grabbed machines, vines hid markers, and the heat made every hour heavy. Rain came hard and often, turning dirt into mud and trenches into slides, with walls falling as fast as crews dug them. Rivers rose without warning. The Chagres could go from calm to wild in one night, washing away months of work in a muddy rush. Then came the enemies no one saw, mosquitoes carrying yellow fever and malaria. They spread through the camps, emptied work crews and killed thousands. Hospitals filled. The neat line de Lesseps drew on a map became a grind of mud, sickness and lessons, proof that this place needed a new plan, new tools and a new fight. From 1881 to 1889, the French effort burned through money and hope. Machines rusted, payrolls grew, and debts piled up as deadlines slipped. Good cheer turned into investigations and bad press. The project failed, part tragedy, part scandal, leaving bent steel, broken spirits, and a hard truth: nature would not be forced. Then came the United States, and President Theodore Roosevelt, a leader who liked big sticks and bigger projects. The US bought the French assets, backed Panama's break from Colombia, and took control of a 10-mile wide strip, the Panama Canal Zone. But the real turning point wasn't politics, it was science. With new proof that mosquitoes spread disease, Dr. William Gorgas fought an enemy smaller than a thumbnail. He drained swamps, fumigated houses, and put screens on windows. Slowly, death rates fell. The jungle still tested people and machines, but it wasn't a graveyard with a work site attached. Under Chief Engineer John Stevens and later George W. Goethals, the plan changed. No sea-level canal, instead a staircase of water. The Chagres River would be controlled by the Gatun Dam, the largest earth dam of its time, creating Gatun Lake, a man-made sea in the hills. Huge concrete locks, giants of engineering, would lift ships 85 feet up and lower them down their other side. The Culebra Cut, 9 miles of rock and clay, was the toughest stretch. Landslides erased months of work overnight. The answer? More dynamite, more shovels, more trains. It was a fight with the ground itself, 1 inch by inch. And behind the names of presidents and engineers were the people who did the digging. Tens of thousands of workers, many from the Caribbean, endured brutal heat, unfair pay and harsh segregation under the gold roll and silver roll. Their sweat, labor, and too often their lives drove the progress. Their names sit in faded ledgers, but their legacy rides with every ship that crosses the isthmus. On August 15, 1914, as Europe fell into World War I, the SS Ancon made the first official crossing. A dream centuries in the making became real, a water bridge between oceans. The impact was huge and fast. Shipping times dropped, trade routes changed, a soybean in Iowa, a car in Japan, copper in Chile, new links formed, reshaping economies and empires. Ports grew, cities prospered, and power shifted. Whoever influenced Panama touched the arteries of world trade, but the canal was also a political hotspot. For much of the 20th century, the US ran the canal zone like a colony inside a sovereign country. Panamanians pushed back, sometimes peacefully, sometimes in the streets. In 1977, the Torrijos-Carter Treaty set a timeline. The canal would return to Panama. On December 31st, 1999, it did. Panama didn't just take the canal, it improved it. In 2016, the Panama Canal expansion added new locks and deeper channels, opening the way for huge Neo-Panamax ships. Today, about 5% of world trade passes through. Each transit is careful choreography. Tugboats, locomotives, valves, and gravity move in a skyscraper-sized ship with the inches to spare. Yet even this giant is fragile. The canal depends on fresh water, rain filling Gatun Lake, to lift ships over the spine of the land. Droughts, made worse by climate change, have forced traffic limits and hard choices, reminding us that every triumph still bows to nature's rules. The Panama Canal is a concrete paradox, a shortcut that took centuries, a national project with global reach, a win over terrain that still yields to weather. It's the story of planners who aimed high, scientists who beat disease, workers who carried the load, and a small country that now guides a passage the world depends on.